Hello. Welcome. It's me, it's Rena. Rena, who's disappeared for the last several weeks, even though Rena said, what am I talking to myself about myself in the third person? Hello, it's me, it's Rena. Welcome to the Slow Knitter podcast. I do believe this is episode 43. I have been a little out of commission. I had wanted to podcast shortly after I got back from my trip. I did podcast about my trip, and I was going to Stitches, and I was going to be back to tell you about it, and I have a sad saga. But I'm back, and everything's fine, and welcome to episode 43 of the Slow Knitter podcast channel on YouTube. I'm Rena. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. You will find all my information below, where to contact me on Ravelry, on email, on Instagram. The Slow Knitter everywhere except Ravelry is the Slow Knitter ATL, and I'll link that below. And I'm happy to be here. I've had a little setback. For those of you, if any of you have ever suffered from sciatica, you have my immense sympathies. I got hit like literally a day or two after my last podcast. I got hit with sciatica that about leveled me. It didn't level me, but it was very uncomfortable, and I was super cranky and not really fit for a YouTube channel video. But it's much better now. It's, I would say, 80% gone, but the last few weeks have been all about physical therapy, massage therapy, chiropractic, you know. Anyway, I'm back. I'm better. I'm back. But I have so much to show you, including a few FOs, which is really why you're here. This is a knitting podcast. Don't sell anything. Don't make project bags. Don't write patterns. Just love to knit. And I love indie dyed yarns, and I love making anything from shawls to socks to sweaters to cowls to hats to anything. Speaking of a hat, I will share with you my first FO in a very long time. I don't know what's taking me so long. Well, I know it's taking me so long. Travel, getting hit with sciatica, yeah, all that. Anyway, look, I'm going to try it on. So I'm going to have head. It's my Shift Along hat by Andrea Mowry of Dree Renee Knits. Anyway, the pattern is on Ravelry. I'll link it below. This is made with Spincycle yarn. Spincycle, just a sport light gray, and the name will come back to me. And this is the Spincycle dyed in the wool. I got this. You know, look at it. It's so cute. I got this wool yarn in a kit when I was a member of Loops Club, and Loops in Tulsa, Oklahoma has a, you know, monthly or quarterly yarn club, and I was part of the quarterly. And I want to say it was over a year ago that they sent the Spincycle, which I had no idea what to do with. And I had a couple friends who suggested some patterns, and nothing really stuck with me, so I just put it away. And then when I saw Shift Along hat, I thought, oh my god. And I know there was like a long weekend knit along or something, which I didn't join, but I soon afterwards, like a day or two after the knit along, I cast this on, and I'm telling you, I finally get the whole shift craze. I really do. I have to put my glasses on because I can't see a thing. Better. I love this hat. First of all, the fiber is incredible, and I get why everyone, I'll take it off. I get why everyone loves dyed in the wool from yeah, I'll look up the pattern. But you see, I mean, the colors just change all in the yarn. It is a fast knit. It is a fabulous knit. I'm going to look it up because it's just, I would do it again. I would do it again and again and again. And I say that about some patterns, but to tell you the truth, this pattern, I totally would do it again because it was, first of all, as I'm looking at my project page, it was so much fun to knit and to see these changes happen. And then, you know, when you hold it back, you know, you see the lines of what she calls in the pattern blips. You see the line of the little blips and you see the big blips, little blips. It was so freaking fun to knit. Like, oh, I'm up to a little blip section, you know. So it was just a ball to knit. So it was, yeah, Spincycle yarns. And this was dyed in the wool, is the color. So it came in like a, and I had just enough. It was like a mini skein, 2 mini skein package. And then I looked at the pattern and I was like, wait, I think I have enough for this. And I did. And I had to modify the pattern a little bit around the top because it went on a little bit longer than I think. I kept trying it on and then finally I stopped because it seemed like enough. But I probably cut out about, I want to say like 10 or 12 rows at the top because it was just getting too big and you know, this was enough to do. I love it. I'm not giving this away. Nobody's getting this but me. But I might make some for, I got a note from my nephew, Billy, who lives in Jacksonville, Florida, and they have a lot of kids in their family, and he's like, we'll take 8. I'm like, oh no, I'm not making 8 of them. But I do love it, and I will make another one. And actually, you can do shift with any combination of yarn. It doesn't have to be Spincycle. I just happen to have it. But I loved working with this gray, which I think is called, I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll be back. I'll get it. That I ordered more from them because I ordered a sweater's quantity worth. I don't know if I'll make a sweater. I'll just keep making these hats. Or I think Andrea Mowry came out with a beautiful cowl pattern recently, which I'll probably make. I might use the base of this gray, or I have some others that I'm tempted to try with it. But yeah, it's the right weight. It's just one of my favorites that I've done in a while. So I'm really happy with my shift along hat using Spincycle. I get it. I have my friends have all made the shift cowls. Nobody's made a shifty sweater. I mean, there's a whole thing of shifty stuff. Nobody's made that in my group except they've made the cowl that she first came out with the whole shift thing. And I know 3 of them made it. I do not. It's just now I get it. I get it. Let me tell you what else I've done. Well, first I have to tell you that one of my favorite designers and potter, Natalie from Canada. She's Remembrance Pottery, and she does these incredible mugs. And sometime, probably 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I said, whenever, we get around to making logo mugs, I'd love for you. And I got like an Instagram message saying, okay, you're up. You're up for a mug. I'm like, what? So I sent her my logo. I don't even want to dirty this mug. Okay, I don't. Look what she did. My logo. Then she added some little baby skeins in the back with the same colors. I don't even want it. This is my 3rd Remembrance Pottery mug and my most special one. So I'm just waiting to have a picture taken with me in my mug. So happy. I'm thrilled, first of all, that Natalie did that. And second of all, I love her mugs. I constantly drink out of her mugs, hand wash them. I don't want them ever to go in hand wash. I drink tea almost every afternoon. I have a cup of tea. Now in my logo mug. Yes, I'm so, thank you, Natalie. Look how beautiful it is. And, you know, I don't know that she does that for everybody, but she does it for many of us. And I just have to give a shout out to my International Virtual Knit Night folks, because that's where I met Natalie, through the International Virtual Knit Night, which was introduced to me by Mars of Hey Brown Berry, introduced me to IVKN, and I've been involved with that group for 2 years, something almost 2 years, and not on it often enough. Every time Phil, who's one of the moderators, posts that it's on, I'm like, I can't get on it. But today I'm getting on it. I'm getting on today. They have a new Ravelry page, so I joined that Ravelry page. But if you ever get a chance, look up IVKN on Facebook, or International Virtual Knit Night on Facebook, or on Instagram. On Ravelry, they have a group, so you can learn all about it on the group. And I have made some really nice friendships with many of the members of that group from all over the world. Yay for IVKN. So that's where I met Natalie. And guess what? I have a mug. I remember it's pottery mug. Love it. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Mwah! Okay. I did not want to forget to show you that. I've been like holding off posting about it because I just am beyond thrilled. All right, I'll stop gushing. Let me show you another FO. Okay, we need to talk about this. These are my just Felici, wonderful Felici socks. I love Felici. I love working with the yarn. And it's fun and they're colorful. And I would say pretty close matchy-matchy. I did a pretty decent job of matchy-matchy. Now, I did the afterthought heel. In some areas, I did not do a good job. In some areas, I did. I was like working on this when I was on vacation. This is Felici, and this is from Vocabulary Yarns. I had a mini, and I thought it matched really well. And Vocabulary Yarns is now called Vicious Yarns, so I'll put the link below. And these are fun, and my husband, who loves colors, said, oh, these are colorful. But I wasn't really satisfied with how I did the heel. And for those of you who have been around a lot and watched my videos before, my one weakness with socks is heels. I've tried lots of different heels. And it seems like I go back to Afterthought a lot, or German short row heel. I'll talk about the German short row heel in just a minute. These are okay. They fit well. They feel fine. Okay. So, yes. Yay, an FO, another pair of socks. That's good. I like my socks. But while we're on the subject of socks, I want to talk a little bit about the fact I've got 2 more socks on the needles. Socks are a great portable project if there's no pattern. If it's a vanilla sock, it's easy and you can do it while you're riding in the car, or when you're at the hairdresser's or the dentist waiting or something. Well, when I started to do pattern socks, and if it wasn't an easy pattern, it would not be a travel sock for me. But I would love the effect. So I'm going to show you a sock that I'm working on. This is one of Mina Phillips' Knitting Expat. Has a sock club, has had a sock club for the last 3 years. And I've joined every one. And I would say I probably do 50% of the patterns, just because. Mina has German short row heel, so I've done her German short row heel stockinette, and I've done it all garter, and it's fun both ways. But the fit was always, it was okay. I was just wearing a pair the other day that I had done with a garter heel, and it kept slipping off. See, it's the heel. So my friend Teresa was telling me that she uses, Mina has a mini heel flap pattern. She doesn't do the whole heel flap, she just does a mini one. And Teresa said, I think it's great, you should try it. One thing I don't like about some of the patterns and heels is I don't like to pick up stitches for a heel flap. I really don't. I'm not really, that's one of my knitting weaknesses, is picking up stitches. And I thought, you know, it's only like 4 stitches, I can do it. I did do it. And I have to tell you, the fit is incredible. The fit is really incredible. So I'm just looking at this because I have to tell you something else, and it's in my Ravelry. Okay. Anyway, so I was working on Mina's Spring Showers sock pattern. I don't know that it's out yet. If you're not a sock club member, I think it's going to come out like in the fall or something. I might be wrong. Anyway, it's a cable. Another weakness of mine. Want something. I like to like challenge myself. Like if I know like I don't really feel confident in cables, I'm gonna try it. And I don't feel confident in cables, and I'm not able to cable without a cable needle yet. Although I want to, and I will. I will conquer that. Anyway, the yarn is Artistic Lily, which is one of my favorite indie dyers, and I will link below her information. This is the colorway. It's like a brownish with hints of, it's like a, I would say a camel color with hints of brown and orange. It's really beautiful. And here's Elle's label, Artistic Lily. And this is the versatile fingering in this saddle up colorway. And it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. Anyway, so it's really a lovely, lovely yarn. And I wanted something that would, where the cables would actually show. So what I do sometimes, not always, is I will do my socks tandem, like 2 size 1 US 2.25 millimeters. So I'll do them tandem sometimes. Sometimes I just do them one by one. Anyway, so I said, I'm gonna try this mini heel flap thing and we'll see if it works on my foot. It does. But I'm gonna put this on the hanger and show you the heel, which is like, yeah, I've been knitting socks for over 2 years now. I'm not that experienced, but I keep trying to find the sock heel that will work for me. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get this on the hanger to show you. Not perfect, but it's close to perfect. It's a beautiful pattern. There's cabling and the back has some ribbing. I have to get this on correctly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can see it. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that there's cabling over here, and then the back has, oh, let me put this on correctly. The back has interesting ribbing, which is nice. But the heel, I put the I did her mini heel flap pattern, part of her vanilla sock pattern. I'll link that below as well. And the heel is just pretty great. And again, since I learned how to knit socks, I've not learned how to do the mini heel flap, a heel flap. And nor did I want to, because it was just complicated and it was gonna have pickup stitches and I didn't want pickup stitches. But this, it happens right here, is where the heel flap is, right here. And then you do the heel, German short row heel, which I happen to really like, and I'm getting better and better at it. And I like it. But I have to tell you, I was like, oh, I sent a note to Teresa right away. I was like, okay, you were right about the mini heel flap. It does fit my foot a lot better, but it's a lovely pattern. You know, when I'm done with them, I'll show them off. I guess I don't have that much more to go. But it's not perfect. I'm gonna have to do some mending on the sides until I get used to it. I should probably stick to this pattern and just keep it, you know, the heel flap and the German short row heel until I really perfect it. And instead of jumping around to doing different kinds, trying different kinds of heels. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. Really happy with it. But anyway, that hopefully will be done soon. Wait till you see how many whips I have. You'll be like, when is she gonna do those socks? Soon. But yeah, I was spent like yesterday and the day before working on these socks to get the mini heel flap done and see if I can make a difference. And for cabling, when I do cables, I just use a double pointed needle. I don't use a cable needle, I just use a double point just to stick it in. I'm getting better. One day, I'll learn how to cable correctly. The other sock that I'm doing, which is a sock I've wanted to do for a very long time because Aya is the best. Aya from Mythica Fibers. She's out of Japan. I found out about Aya through Mina Phillips of Knitting Expat, who featured Aya's work on one of her podcasts, and I absolutely almost fell off my chair when I saw the yarn. And so I immediately ordered the yarn, which is, look at that. It's called Caribbean Breeze, and it's her sock weight. Somewhere there's a label. Mythica Fibers. This is superfine merino and nylon. It's called Caribbean Breeze. About 430 yards. Look at the colors. I was like, oh, when I saw Mina have it, I was like, oh, I got to have that. I'm all tangled up. Anyway, so then I thought, okay, what is that speckle in here? Maybe I can do heels, cuffs, and toes in a different color. So I purchased Tracy from Nora George's Advent Calendar for 2018 and made a beautiful cowl. Loved it. And there's a lot of leftovers. So this was one of the leftovers. And I thought, wait a minute. This will work? And sure enough, I kind of think it does. Look at that. So this is the first sock. I'm doing these toe up. I do a combination of toe up and cuff down, but I decided these needs to be toe up. Look at that. Then look at that. Very happy with it. This is just a vanilla sock, no pattern. I am gonna try the mini heel flap thing again, and German short row heel again. Why not? I'm totally tangled everything here. I also have a favorite sock project bag maker. Her name is Renee, and the name of her company is Lowland Originals. And I'm currently holding that in the Eat Sleep Knit bag, on which the back she has every conceivable tag, Instagram tag for sock knitting. It's so fun whenever I want to like post something. I'm like, wait, let me look at Renee's bag. So I'm telling you, okay, every sock project I'd have, I have one of Renee's bag. They're perfect size, right? This is my favorite one. This is a new one. I love it. And every one, they're just super well made, really beautiful fabrics. So every one of my sock bags is a Renee sock bag, just cause I love her stuff. I could buy a lot more Renee stuff. I'm trying to hold back. Anyway, so yeah, that was my socks. Yeah, I like this one. This will be ready one day. I'm all tangled. Yeah. So I went to Stitches. Stitches came to Atlanta, have been gone for a few years. They came back to Atlanta about a month ago. Yeah, something like that. It was the weekend after I discovered I had the sciatica. For those of you who don't know, I also have MS, so I have a little bit of a wonky walk. Can't walk very far without sitting down and resting, which is fine. I've been doing that. That's been my issue for several years. Not a big thing, but when you're going to a big event, and this is nothing, I hear, compared to like Vogue Knitting Live in New York or anything like that. I mean, this is seriously big for me anyway. It's at a convention center. So I rented a scooter so I could scoot around, which was good. And because I had sciatica on top of it, it was even better. But no matter what I did with the sciatica, if I sit too long in one place, it bothered me. If I stood too long, standing was the worst. Although it's not anymore. It was the worst. So right at the heart of the peak of it was stitches. So I was supposed to go to classes, and I couldn't go to classes. I so desperately wanted to go to the marketplace because, first of all, some of my friends were displaying there. The gals from Heart and Spirit Atlanta were displaying. Lauren from Old Rusted Chair, one of my favorite indie dyers, was going to be there. I really felt like I had to go. My knitting group was going. I wanted to go. They were, by the way, knitting friends are truly the best friends because they were like taking my scooter, putting it together. They were incredible. And my wonderful husband, Bob, was even more incredible, getting me the scooter, putting it together. It was a shout out to you, my squirrels. I deeply, deeply love you. And you girls were fantastic. I'm gonna get weepy. Don't get me started. Anyway, they were great help. So I was scooting around, stitches. I didn't go crazy. I did go a little crazy. My friend Laura, who's Trixie Knits on Instagram, said she spent hundreds of dollars at stitches. You could easily spend hundreds of dollars at stitches at any of these events. I mean, you're like, oh, I like that. I'll buy a square quantity of that. It's crazy. But when it opened on Thursday night, we went Thursday afternoon into evening, and I did more scouting than I did buying there because I wanted to get the lay of the land. On Saturday, I went back and bought the crap out of the place. The problem when you have sciatica and on a scooter, maybe your judgment isn't the best. No, it wasn't the judgment of what I bought. I wanted to see more than I was actually able to see because I was very uncomfortable. So I could have bought more, but thankfully I did not buy more. Anyway, let's talk about what I bought. Okay, first I have to show you, I'm leaning this way only because my little rolling cart. This bag, I did buy this on the first Thursday because I loved it. This is a project bag from 65 South, which is, they do a lot of things, but one of the things they do really, really well is make these project bags. And it looks a little bit big on camera, but it will hold a sweater quantity. It'll hold a couple project bags. The best thing about it is they've got these incredible pockets too, which are just put your wallet in there, your cell phone, your keys, and that's all you need to carry. You don't need to carry anything else. And I just like this thing, this like metallic thing that runs up. Good leather handles. It's a great, great bag. So I'm very happy, and I've been stalking their website to see what else they have. And then my sensible self says, how many more project bags can you have, woman? A lot, because I love project bags. Anyway, 65 South, which is a road outside of Alabama. I've gone down 65 South when we're on the way to the beach. That's another way to go to the beach, 65 South. Love it. Good leather handles. Love it. Okay, so that's one of the things I bought. Okay, let's talk about yarn. Again, I told you my friend Lauren from Old Rusted Chair was there. And can you see this beautiful blue? This is her nautical colorway. Look at the changes in the line. I hold it this way versus this way. This is her fingering her merino. Squish fingering base. This is her label. Squish. It's just super wash merino, 100%. And there's no nylon in it. It's Caitlin Hunter sweater. I mean, they're 400 yards each, so it's over 1,200 yards here. Easily for me, because I usually do small size for a sweater, even a Caitlin Hunter, and it's super beautiful. I could have bought, I didn't, because I had to show some self-restraint. But this, look how it changes. Dark blue, sort of a nautical blue. It would be beautiful as a Caitlin Hunter sweater with color work. And God knows I have enough other yarns to go with this. So I'm sort of stalking which one of Caitlin Hunter's patterns I want to do on this. Like this. I'm just getting into more sweaters. I also, here's that. But let me stick with one thing at a time. When I was there, one of the first booths I walked by was Leading Men Fiber Arts. They're so great. Michael and Andy are so great. And I posted a picture of them. And, oh, well, I don't want to lose that. I'm about to lose I don't want to do that. I have something else I want to show you. They had, this is a lamina wrap by Amba O'Brien. And I've been watching Amber's patterns for a while. I've never really bought one, or no, I bought them. I just have never done it. And it's sort of a scrappy project. I mean, you could use a lot of minis. So Annie and Michael had a lamina wrap on display in their booth. I was like, what is that? It's a lamina wrap. Minis, and then our this incredibly gorgeous gold color. I have a thing for gold colors, but I was like, what? So the sample that they made, this is really the contrast color. The main color, so is that right? I may have gotten that backwards. Anyway, I'll show you what. I had, by the way, in addition, I had a pack of 10 of their minis. I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to use that. I have no idea when I'm going to use that. And this pattern, you know, there's a reason that yarn is in your stash. Eventually, a pattern will call for it. And this pattern is calling for it. So, I'm using a bunch of their minis that I have. This is only a fraction of them. I've been using them. I mean, there's more. There's like a whole bunch more that I've been using as I go. And they would all go with this gold color, no problem. This is one addictive knit. I have to walk away from this knit because it is so addictive. But, sure, show you the right side. This is a lamina wrap so far. You know, when I hold it up there, it looks so pretty. I blocked the bottom 2 panels just to see the lace. And so all of these are their minis that I've been using. Boom, boom, boom. I'm about to go into the 5th one. I love wraps. I do. And this is the way they use the gold as well. So the gold becomes the lacy part, and the garter ridges are their minis. Okay, come on. Even when I hold it up like this, I'm like, okay, I love the way it looks. I really do. Some when you're so close to it, you can't see it, but I love. So my plan is, I don't know if I'll actually, is to do a dark mini, a light mini, a dark mini, a light mini, and then I'll repeat them because this thing's going to be too long. Take your time and do it. But I am addicted to this project. So it's going to be really, really beautiful. Prominent color is going to be the gold, but you'll have these stripes and the contrasting minis. And that's the way their display model was. But this yarn is a fingering weight. It's got 75% merino, 25% nylon. It's called Smoky Quartz. Come on. There's their label, Leading Men Fiber Arts. I'll put the link below. All of this stuff that I talk about will be linked below. And this is how it's coming out. Oh my God, it's gonna be gorgeous. But the gold is gonna be the color that you see the most. So again, this is sort of like a long-term project, but it is rather addictive. I will say that. Oh wait, okay. The other thing that we all like, I was with my squirrels. We all bought the same thing. We're like, ah! I don't even know where this is from. I guess I do. It's called an Easy Please Gauge Ruler. It's magnified. Okay, these are 1 inch, and I'll put the link below. The last gauge ruler you'll ever need. Stitches are clearer and easier to see. Markings in 1 each and 1/2 inch increments. All of us have been using it. We're like, what? We should have bought 3. We should have bought, it was like $10. I'll put the link below, but I don't even, anyway, it's super, super good. FYI, this is what you pick up at these events, which makes me want to go to more, but I was a little overwhelmed. We'll talk about that in a minute. I was a little overwhelmed with the size. That kind of environment isn't really, I'm not kidding when I say this. It might have like a little touch of attention deficit, because I really get confused when I go to those places. I'm like, I don't know where to turn. I don't know what to buy next. I don't know what, am I doing the right thing? Between Thursday and Saturday, I went Thursday and Saturday. On Friday, I went through all of my needles, identified which needles I didn't have, because I know they had a Chalgu, somebody was selling some Chalgu stuff. So, and I know what accessories I needed. So I did get those. I had a purpose. On Saturday when I went, I wanted to get the Leading Men Fibers art. I wanted to get Lauren's yarn. I wanted to get needles. I mean, I had a purpose. And I wanted to get something that I saw on Thursday. On Saturday, I wanted to go back and get more, and I'll tell you what that is. I wish I could demonstrate it. I can't demonstrate it. I got a shawl cup. Isn't that pretty? Shawl cup. Then I had a bracelet, which will go really well with, I have really tiny wrists, with my knitting, my gauge ruler bracelet, which I wear all the time. And they had these earrings with the knit stitch. You know, can you see it? Right? I love them. I love them. I mean, your average person wouldn't know. They would think it would be a design. We know what it is. We know it's a knit stitched earrings. I love it. I love the style of them. And I'll put the link below where I got them, which just completely, oh. Geez, I know I saved things. Daisy Parker Designs out of California. I'm sorry, Birdie Parker Designs. I knew that. I knew Daisy was wrong. Birdie Parker Designs. These are the earrings that she makes. The bracelet, the shawl cuff, the earrings. I was done. I was done. I was like, I love this. I'm gonna put the bracelet on now because I wore it the whole time I was there. So I put it on. I want to put it on. So I was very happy with that. What else did I buy? That was most of the damage I did. I did a lot of damage. I mean, for me, I mean, seriously, the leather slash the shawl cuff, the earrings, the bracelet, they were pricey altogether, but well worth it, because when am I going to run into Birdie Parker Designs again? Well, now I'll run into her more often, because now I know where to go. So this is the bracelet. Looks good with my measuring bracelet. I love it. Very, very happy with it. Yay! Christy owns it. She's the sweetest. So, yeah. And I had a shawl, and she dressed me up and styled me. And I ran into Andrea from Knitter's Niche up in Blairsville, Georgia. And I had another shawl on, and we were comparing that we had bought shawl cuffs, and she said, well, let me fix it up for you. So she fixed it up for me. Okay. So it was great. It was really, really great, but a little overwhelming. I mean, and some of my pals have been to Vogue Knitting Live, and they went, oh my God, this is like 1/10 of what Vogue Knitting Live is. And I went, oh, I'll never go. Never will I go to Vogue Knitting Live. It would be overwhelming. I would be like, and you know, this was a good lesson. This was a good event to dip my toe into. I'll go back to Sisters now that I know what to expect in Atlanta, but to travel to Vogue Knitting Live, not for me. It's just not for me, which is okay. It's not for everybody. And I'm really pleased everybody loves it so much, and I'm really glad they enjoy going to it, but it would be unpleasant for me. It would not be a pleasant experience for me. So I will live vicariously through them. And once I know who the vendors are and that they're shopping, and if I need something, they'll pick it up for me. So like they did last year, they picked up a set of Barnyard Knits minis for me, which is very sweet. So I was happy about that. But those shows are too big for me. I mean, like now, Southeast Animal Fiber Fair in Asheville, North Carolina, which is about 3.5 hours from here. Also, my friends tell me I absolutely can handle that. It would be very manageable. Next year, Ann Budd is having another Knit for Fun retreat in Savannah, like she did last year. She's going to redo it again in 2020. Teresa and I are definitely going to that. It's about less than a 5-hour drive from here. And I know what to expect because I've been to Ann Budd's Knit for Fun retreat. It's a lot of great information and great experience that I had there. So I would do it again. And so those kind of small, intimate gatherings, big convention hall things, it's too much for me. It's not only because of my physical limitations, but because it's just like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to look. It's just overwhelming. I don't know if I'm making the right buying decision. It's almost like I have to go and scope the first day and then go back and say, I want to go there. Like I knew I needed new cords for my signature needles. I went to the signature booth. I knew exactly what I wanted to get. I ordered it. So that was good. That was sort of the good part of that. But yikes, a little overwhelming. I have some beautiful acquisitions that I want to talk to you about. I want to tell you about my whips first. So I showed you some of my sock whips, but there's a sweater that never gets finished. Okay, I have a question to ask you. How many times have you gotten 7/8 through a project and you're like, I can't do it. I don't want to finish it. I don't want to work on it anymore. I am this far from finishing a sweater. Now that's ridiculous. Just so I've committed to doing 10 rows a day to finish the sweater, and all I have is half a sleeve left to go. Ridiculous. But I know, you know what? I'll finish it in a couple weeks, and I'll be glad I finished it. I do like it. But, you know, when you're working on something so long, you're like, I don't even want to look at it. Know what I mean? But, you know, it's sort of done. Like, there's no reason why not to wear it. no reason why you've gotten this far. Look at my needles are in, one sleeve is done. Oh yeah, I had to fix that. That's a little boo-boo there. I had to fix that. One sleeve is done. This is the Andromeda sweater by Pam Allen. And I've used Quince & Co.'s Turn yarn in the Popham colorway. Is it perfect? No. Great lessons though. And you know what? It looks great on. I can put half the sweater on. I can't put the other half on because I'll knock out those needles, which God knows when I knock out needles, it doesn't work. I mean, so this is great. I mean, it's going to be a really great sweater to put on over sundresses, sleeveless little tanks. It's great. It's Turn yarn is a combination of wool and silk, so the drape is beautiful. Yeah, yeah, it's almost there. It's almost there. I mean, come on. I have like 5 inches, 6 inches to go. Come on. Get it done. I will. I'm committed to 10 rows a day on the sweater, on the sleeve. And then in no time, it'll be on. Yeah. Bane of my existence, that sweater. Now, I will tell you about this other sweater that I'm working on. This was a provisional cast on of lots of stitches. And I found out, oh, right in the middle of it. Right in the, I had gone through, I'm like trying to untangle myself here. This is the Calyx sweater. I'll link it below. Can't really see it, but I'll show you a picture of it. And it's a provisional cast on of a lot of stitches. And it has a lace panel here and a lace panel down the sleeves. I'm doing it out of Barocco Corsica. Sorry, Barocco Corsica, which is a cotton cashmere blend. I did my Helen Stewart shawl out of that. I love it. The stitch definition is really, really beautiful in it. You can see it's really, really lovely. It's going to be a lovely knit eventually when I finish it eventually. This is one that I just popped on the needles. Anyway, so I was getting along. I had about this much done and realized it was completely twisted. I had to frog it and start again. I mean, I liked it enough to start it again. So I started it again and I'm almost where I was before I frogged. So it's a few days setback, but not too bad. But it's fun. It's sort of relaxing, except when you get to the lace part. And there's only like one mini lace panel, and my friends are going to help me because at some point you start from the bottom up and then you separate. They're going to help me do that since I've never done that before. And they're much more experienced than I am. Let me show you a picture of it because it's really lovely. My notebook, library. So I like to see projects, and I'll show you the. There it is. Pretty, huh? Now, the pattern calls for using 2 strands of a Shibui combination. I thought I want to go out and buy Shibui. I don't even know if I'm going to like it. So I looked, this is why it's important, I'm telling you right now. Look, when you decide to do something, take a look at the Ravelry pages of those who have already done it and see what yarns they used and how theirs came out and all that kind of stuff. And there were a fair amount of people that used some kind of a cotton blend yarn, not the Shibui. So I said, oh my goodness, I have that cotton in my stash. I'll just use that. And so that's how that came in. And I really enjoyed knitting with Corsica, so that's a win-win. What else am I doing? Oh, okay, some other quick acquisitions. So that was all I did at Stitches. But it was significant damage. I don't want to give you a number. So as I was saying, I want to get back to this hat for a minute. By the way, I always add a design element, AKA a mistake that I don't fix, which I won't show you here. Anyway, I was talking about this yarn, not the dyed-in-the-wool, but the sport weight yarn of Spincycles that I loved. So I went ahead and bought some more. And this is it. It's called yeah, it's their sport wear. They have it in light gray and dark gray. I'll put the link below, but it's about 200 yards. Yeah, 200 yards. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I bought 6 skeins. So 200 times 6, 1,200 yards. It's enough for a sweater or some combination of sweater. This would make a beautiful combination, the old Western chair and this. I also have a lot of other yarns that it would be a beautiful combination. So I'm very, very happy I bought this. I have some care instructions, and this is Spincycle's label. And they have care instructions on the back of it. Wildwood or something like that it's called. It's their sport weight yarn, and it's just a basic gray that would look, and a lot of people have done Caitlin Hunter's patterns, colorwork patterns using this. So I'll probably try and find one and maybe mix it with Lauren's Old Western chair. A quick note, I'm queuing up sweaters like crazy because this is what I'm doing. See if you follow along. I often have to go, because I'm such a loose knitter, I often have to go down to at least 2 needle sizes for the pattern size, swatch, and finally got a good swatch. But when I saw this pattern, Rialto Ripples by Irina Anakiva, I hope I'm saying that right. I was like, I want to do a sweater. And the yarn that this is made of is Malabrigo Arroyo, which I've worked with before and absolutely love. What color am I going to use? Am I going to get started? Then I went to one of my favorite websites and my favorite local yarn shops called Eat, Sleep, Knit. Again, I'll put the link. They do a tremendous amount of mail order business. You can get anything. They really do specialize in the better yarns. And I got it in the Regatta Blue colorway. And again, look at this blue. And I got the natural to do this. So I've swatched for it. I know what needle size I have to go. Last night I spent a lot of time on Knit Companion, which is my preferred method of doing, reading a pattern and following a pattern, and highlighted the size I'm going to use throughout the whole thing. That took a while to do, because every section's like, for this size, you have to do this many stitches. And I thought, might as well do that so I can highlight it. I'll print it out. I'll probably highlight it in printed form as well. I'm so excited, but this isn't going to go on the needles right away. I know which size I have to use, and I know the swatch is that I got gauge with a size 2. Thank you, squirrels, for helping me count the gauge. I was like, I think I'm off. They're like, no, you're not. You might be off a stitch, like a half a stitch. But this has got a lot of ease, so I think it's fine. That's not going to be a huge problem. Anyway, I'm excited about Rialto Ripples. I'm also excited about Andrea Mowry's new cowl design. called Montana something. And again, it uses Spincycle. So I could use that gray that I described, that I showed you a minute ago. However, what was bugging me about that was, I'll show you the pattern. She just came out with the pattern, and it's beautiful. So you can imagine it with that Spincycle yarn, how it changes colors, how beautiful that would be. However, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. FYI, sometimes when you buy yarn and you don't know quite what to do with it yet, you're like, oh, maybe I'll do this, but yet it just sits and you don't do this thing with it. I'm telling you why you don't do it. Because it's not ready to be that pattern you thought it was going to be. It's ready to be this pattern. Several months ago, 6, 7 months ago, my group and I went up to, I want to say it was almost a year ago. We went up to Eat Sleep Knit, which is about 40 minutes from where we are in the city. And we did a little shopping. And I am in love with Spun Right Round. Again, I'll click. And so I'll put the link. I bought this Spun Right Round. Look at these colors. This is called Spellbound. And this is in her super weight sock 80-20, right? 80% merino, 20% nylon. Okay, gorgeous, right? Beautiful. During the same visit, one yarn that I really have a hard time resisting, I'll be quite frank with you, is Malabrigo Finito, which I've been knitting with for years and absolutely love it. So this is the Malabrigo Finito I bought when I was up there. Malabrigo Finito. And Finito is not really made in the quantities they make some of their other yarns. And Finito is pure superfine merino wool. I do not think it's superwash. But it is like heaven to work with. Okay. Okay. And what does the pattern call for? A skein of this and 2 skeins of a sport weight yarn, 200 yards. What is Finito? A sport weight yarn, 200 yards. Perfect. So these will maybe become this. Yeah? You know what? I'm going to try it. You know, the worst that can happen is I don't like it and I change my mind and do something else. I would love to buy some more dyed-in-the-wool, but there's so much in my stash. It would be a sin to buy more of that without using some of this unbelievably gorgeous yarn that's in my stash. So she does call for a whole skein of fingering and 2 skeins of sport, and that's what I have. And you know what? I don't know what it's going to look like, but I think it's going to look darn good. This pattern is done in a tube and then twisted and grafted. Okay, I can do that. It'll be fun. And again, these are projects that it's sort of like this hat. It's like, well, let me just try to see if I like finish. So it's going to be like some of these other projects. I'll eventually get them done. And who knows, maybe some will be faster than others. But, and some of these sweaters I might start on now or might start on later. It's just the way I am. I'm very excited about this. This is going to be beautiful. The Montana Mountain Cowl. And I'll link it below. It is spectacular. And it's mosaic knitting, which I happen to really am fond of mosaic knitting. I'm also okay at it. I'm pretty okay at it. And I get it and know how to handle the yarn. And if you want mosaic knitting, there are some great mosaic knitting tutorials out there. And so I encourage you to take a look at those as well. I think I've talked too much. I'm sorry I've been gone. It's just, sciatica kicked my butt, man. It kicked my butt. So much better today. At least I was like on powerful ibuprofen for days, and everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't take that. That's gonna destroy your kidneys. And I'm like worried about kidneys, and I'm worried about, you know what? It worked. So it made me more comfortable, made me more able to function. I mean, at one point I couldn't even drive the car. It was so painful. But that's all behind me now. Whew. Really, sympathies. My heart goes out to those of you who suffer from that, because that is just, oof, no more. 90% of the way gone, 20%, 70% of the way. I mean, physical therapy has been great. Massage therapy has been great. I had acupuncture twice. That helped. So little by little, it's getting better and better. So hopefully it'll get better and even more better. By the way, I just want to tell you that I have a sock knit along and a shawl knit along in my Ravelry group, the Slow Knitter Ravelry group. Encourage you to go by and jump in, because, wait a minute, I have to get rid of this, because I just had some winners. So what I do for the shawl and the sock knit along group is I give away a skein. For sock, I give away a skein of yarn every quarter, sock yarn, to a winner, which I choose through random number generator. And I also gift the winner a pattern from Ravelry. And we've got some amazing, amazing socks in there. So drop by Slow Knitter Ravelry group and see the sock count. So this last year, the start of this year, I started a shawl knit along. So you all know how much I love knitting shawls. And it had an amazing reaction. A lot of people jumped in, because what I do is I give away 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn and a shawl pattern of your choice quarterly. So I've had some brilliant indie dyers that are part of the shawl knit along. And so I've been giving away gorgeous shawl and sock yarn and from indie dyers mostly. I've had some amazing indie dyers join in. So I'm about to send off the shawl knit along winner, and I wanted to tell you who that is. Let's see. Yeah, Judy Lee 59 Knits. Judy Lee 59 Knits on Ravelry has won the shawl knit along. See how I'm doubting myself now? I'm doubting myself because I do this like all one time. Oh, I'm sorry. I also have a hat knit along. Amazing hats in that group. Oh, come on. Little Flower, I'm sorry. Total lie. Little Flower Knits. Who is... I'm sorry. Rewind. Little Flower Knits on Ravelry. Her name is Therese. She won my shawl knit along. She got 2 beautiful. I sort of have yarn envy right now. From my friend Karen of I Knit 2 Purl 2. Kindly donated 2 skeins of her fingering weight yarn. It's beautiful. And so Therese got that. Judy Lee 59 Knits won my sock knit along, was randomly chosen as my sock knit along winner, and she got a skein of Trey Liz. Love Liz. I love you, Liz. Sock yarn. Beautiful. And the most recent winner of my hat knit along, Bren, I just got her address. I'm about to send her this kit from I know. I'll tell you in a minute. God. Yeah. She's... Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, for God's sake. Cheryl from Hypnotic Yarn. God, Rena. Cheryl from Hypnotic Yarn. I have more news on Cheryl, by the way, which will be announced in a later podcast. Cheryl from Hypnotic Yarn sent me this kit a while ago. This beautiful skein of yarn with this little fluffy pom-pom and a pattern, and I'm gifting that to Bren. So that will be nice. So I have some winners I've chosen. So they're getting a whole bunch of goodies, a package of yarn and patterns given to them and all that. This is a long podcast. Sorry, I had a lot to show you. I think that's it. I think it's it. You know, the weather has been pretty good. Chatter part, chatter, chatter, chatter. Be really brief. The weather has been hot. We've been having a lot of work done at the house. We painted the outside of our house. We had a aluminum fence installed that looks like cast iron, but it's not cast iron. Beautiful. And part of the fence removed, which opened up our yard, but now we need to move some things around because now it doesn't look right. Yeah, so we've had a lot of work done in the house recently, which is great. I like it. Like it. But I think that's it. Yeah, it's supposed to rain like the Dickens this afternoon. But we have a really blue sky. Who knows if it's actually gonna rain, or maybe we're in this pocket of no rain. I don't know, but it's hot, like in the 90s. And we are going to meet my friend Laura, who's Trixie Knits. Some of my squirrel buddies and I are going to meet her tomorrow for a couple hours knitting. And I think that's it. Otherwise, everyone's been fine except me. But now I'm like 200% better. Not there yet, but almost there. Reducing the amount of this ibuprofen that I have to take, which really has got me a little freaked out. Next week is my birthday. Yay! And we're going down to our beach house for about 10 days or so, just for a little getaway. And I think that's it. So, thanks for dropping by. I hope I haven't bored you too much. But I'll link everything I talked about below, so you can take a look at that. And hopefully, I'm not going to promise when I'm going to be back podcasting, because I really don't know. But hopefully, it'll be soon, and I'll have some FOs to share. Maybe the sweater. Maybe a sock or two. No. I'll have some more and show you what I'm working on. That's what I like to do. I like to share my news with you. All right, folks. Have a great, great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.